This is an episode that we recorded with the team over at Or System. Now, I know you've all been hearing crypto this, crypto that, NFT this, NFT that. So I decided to go ahead and interview the guys who are actually building NFTs for video games. This is going to give you guys a really, really cool and different perspective on the whole crypto market right now. So I hope you guys enjoy. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Creating Capital podcast. So today I am here with the guys from Or System. So I know NFTs and crypto is a really, really hot topic right now. So why not give you guys the perspective from people who are actually building a full-on SDK and framework, incorporating NFTs into actual games and providing real-world utility rather than just buying a picture of a penguin or a dinosaur that serves no other purpose than looking good, you know? So if we could go around and just introduce everyone, how you got started with Or System, and kind of why crypto, why NFTs, why the DeFi space. So Nick, how did you really get started in this crypto space? Did you start by playing games as a kid and wanting to give players like real world utility, or how'd you get into this?
Yeah. Really, I got started because I was trying to make a video game. I've been in technology for 22 years of my life professionally, and I was born onto the internet back in the 80s. So I've really been around technology forever. And in that, right, and in the process of kind of the bleeding edge of technology is crypto, and it is blockchain. So as I was developing and really kind of putting together the game, right, and my game, just something that I wanted to do with it, nobody had an answer, and nobody had something that I could use that was off the shelf to really kind of put NFTs or put crypto tokens in my game. So I had to make that system. And instead of being a game developer, right, I had to actually learn to be a blockchain developer before I was ever able to do my game. My game still isn't done. And here we are with this awesome crew of people that have now spun out to become the Or System. So really, this spun out of the necessity and really the need and the want to have those types of items in a real game.
Yeah, so from gamer to blockchain dev, I guess.
Yeah, well,
Awesome.
22 years in cybersecurity. I got started in '99 and actually doing pen testing and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I've done the gamut of technology, man.
Yeah, I've still got a Minecraft network that I'm trying to learn how to incorporate NFTs into.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sean, how'd you get into Or System? And
So Lucas gave me a call about 3-4 weeks ago, well, more like June, I guess it was, and said, "Hey, I got this interesting thing. I want to bounce a few ideas off you." And I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Crypto? What do you?" So crypto is kind of a hobby for me. I'm a techie guy. I like to be involved in technology, especially bleeding edge technology. And Lucas and I started batting ideas around, and our focus is really the business side of the house, not so much the tech side. We leave that to the evil geniuses, and we're going to be the guys who set the business up and make sure that we run this thing like a real company is supposed to run, and we allow expandability in the future. So, yeah, I'm a retired Army guy, and just kind of got on board as a really interesting project.
awesome. So how are you guys gonna really incorporate NFTs into the games? Now I know the SDK is not done yet, but what are some ideas like making Call of Duty skins that have special abilities, or you guys have any examples ready, or is the content not ready?
So I'll take that one. Hey Nazar, you mentioned your Minecraft network, man. So and I always like to use the example of the Minecraft banana cake, man, because I'm a Minecraft nerd, man. And so imagine on whatever your favorite server is. Mine is Minewind, but imagine my developer, they get the SDK, they put the banana cape in the game, and I buy it on the Or Forge there. Now, any any other server that is using our SDK, they have easy access to that code, so it's no problem for me to hop over and I've got my banana cakes, and then whenever I get bored with the new release and I hop back over to Call of Duty, you know, I want to drag that banana skin onto my uniform, right, or my weapon, or whatever, you know, whatever it is I want to do, right? So it really enables cross-platform stuff. So we're really hoping to get a lot of material files, stuff like that, that applies to a whole lot of different environments.
Okay. So what language is the SDK in? The easiest way to access it, what language would that be in?
So we actually have partnerships with Unity. We have partnerships with Unreal. It's written in C# and it fully supports any of the C# game development environments. But you'll actually be able to get it on the Unity Asset Store. You'll be able to get it through Unreal Marketplace. The goal is really to make it so easy to access, right? And the SDK is just made so. My thing is, I just want to be functional. I don't want to have to learn a whole new technology, right? Just to provide those types of items, or NFTs in particular, but just to get something in my game, I don't want to have to become a completely separate technology engineer to be able to get that stuff, right?
Yeah. So
the SDK is written so that the developers can literally take one line of code and interact with the OR system. And so if they want to get the balance of the user, it's literally player one balance, and they now know how much OR tokens that the holder has. It really is that easy with the system. So providing the ease of use, the cost reduction. So we're right now we're launching on the Binance Smart Chain. We're utilizing a BSC token, but we also have forward thinking, right? What else can we actually use? Because there's a lot of naysayers and there's a lot of crap coins, right, that are on the Binance market. And we want to make sure that we have forward growth. So looking at things like Polygon as the potential future, looking at the next gen Ethereum as the potential future, the support in the SDK allows, no matter what that growth path is, the developer still writes one line of code.
Nick brought up a good point, Nazir, with portability. You know, that's obviously the biggest linchpin for our success is can we make things portable once you own them, and that's really really important for our opportunity to fully integrate our system like we have see it unfolding in our planning as an organization. So don't be afraid of it. It's nothing that anyone hasn't seen before, downloadable content. It just creates interoperability within systems.
It makes it easy.
Yeah.
So are you guys, how are you guys going to handle, pay to win? I know a lot of games are pay to win, especially with NFTs in the Minecraft space now. A lot of servers are coming out with NFTs where you can literally buy it with your wallet and come join the server without ever playing on it before and completely dominate everyone else.
It's a big concern, right? But at the end of the day, we aren't the ones that decide how you use the OR Forge. We're giving that developer the power to actually dictate what their game does and how it leverages. If I, as a game developer, make it so that you can buy everything in the game, then, that's my game model, right? There is pay to play. But us as the OR system, we're agnostic of that. We just support the developer to put that content out and how they want to use it and support that development of it, as opposed to necessarily dictating how that game is actually, making their money or, considering their in-game economy.
Hey, you know what? Yeah. So, Nick just hit it. At the end of the day, it's still up to the developer how they use their in-game content. All we're doing is simplifying the process of opening a whole new range of content that they can use. Right? We're not taking the reins away from them. So we're empowering the developer, and we're at the same time as the end user, right? So the end user on this particular server, this platform, whatever, they're going to fall under that developer or that owner's purview. Or they run over to another environment, the same thing applies, different environmental rules, right?
Okay. So Armando, I see you changed your background. How did you get started with Horse System?
Sorry, and of course it's backwards, or it's inverted. But how
okay.
I started, well,
It's not for us.
Nick and I we were involved in another company, in an infrastructure company, and I think one day I asked him about something about a token or not an or thing, a Bitcoin or something in the crypto world, and he kind of helped me set up some of my wallets. He helped me get some coins, and then I guess he knows that I'm pretty good at project management, program management, process management. And he invited me to join the team. So definitely grateful for that, and happy to be on this team.
Awesome. So James, how did you get started with the OR system and the project?
It's funny how me and Eric kind of got started. Nick was developing a video. He was just kind of farting around with it, and he was starting to get ideas about. He wanted some music. Me and Eric are musicians, and we play together. So he was like, "Hey, maybe you guys can come up with some music for this game," And like I was like, "Yeah, sure, not a problem," because it was very low maintenance, I don't know. Somehow it just morphed into what it is now. All of a sudden, I got a call. Hey, look, you're part of this now. We're going to do this, and we need some, And yeah, I mean, I'm not even a big crypto guy, man, but I just we know Nick for a long time, and I'm learning as I go here. But my job is more like the marketing, is trying to make it look cool, and make it present to people, and I'm learning as I go, which is nice. I mean, I bought some coin today. Nick got out and bought some coin today. Getting me started, on this, and hopefully we can make this work, man. These guys are all super cool, and everybody's got each other's backs. Everybody's very uplifting of each other, and I love it. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Yeah, I can see it's a great team, definitely. So, Eric, how did you get started?
Yeah, as far as how I got.
Sorry. Keep going.
I was going to say, as far as how I got into it, just intellectual curiosities, man. Was going down the rabbit hole, looking to kill some time. Found some. I was looking for hobbies, things I used to be interested in, kind of exploring some stuff, and bumped across a post with Nick, and he's saying, advertise, "Hey, man, come join my chat. We're going to talk about crypto and some neat stuff." And I'm like, sounds interesting. Let's check it out. I was expecting to be, a fly on the wall for the majority of the conversation, and it was just me and Nick chewing the fat about life, crypto, this is that. He talked me through the system. We didn't really have a whole lot of visual aids like we do now to kind of understand his concept, but I could tell he was really passionate about it. And I'm on this whole growth kick this year about how I'm trying to evolve, personally in my own journey. And I'm like, I'm going to help this guy, realize his dream, as a part of my development as a person. So, Nick and I got to talk, and I was like, "Hey, man, turns out I've actually got a graduate degree in organizational development, and I can probably point us in the right direction." And so we just got started to, good old fashioned, hey, what do we need to do? Let's make a list. Let's follow the list. Make it easy, make it attainable, make it achievable. Let's figure out roles for everybody within the team, and just figure out how we want to talk about stuff. And really set easily attainable goals on a realistic timeline. And we're right on schedule, man. And all we do is just hang out every week. It's so cool. It's a really interesting dynamic within the group and the topic, man. This is becoming normalized conversations. I'll talk about NFTs in church, and people will turn around and look at me, So that's not an insignificant thing. I'm interested, and I'm curious, and I look at this as a parent, man. How do I get my kids to be interested in this stuff? And it's a self-licking ice cream cone. I'm interested in it. We're talking about it. We're hanging out. We're playing more video games, spending more quality time with the kids. It's a win-win all around, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to learn about NFTs or crypto or just trying to get into it? What would you tell them?
I would say it's good old-fashioned, digging on the internet. And I didn't know what an NFT was from, an NF. No. Nick would tell me what it was, and I would, shake my head. Yeah, man, I get it. But I didn't. So you figure out how those things are made, with the Bet 20 and the 721, mash those together, and it becomes a new thing. And you're like, oh, okay. Now, like, the more I study, all these little things start to, add up, and you're like, okay, I get the functional stuff of this. And then my brain, from, on the business side, I'm like, who do I know in my group that we can kind of like feed this in their direction to have them start being, doing some of our homework that way. So I just plugged in all my music friends, all my investment friends, and we're really trying to like bring this thing, up collectively, under, the charge of like, let's take care of everybody and look after the little guy, man. It's all about gaming because everybody is a gamer here, and that's really what we try and keep everything lighthearted and do good things every day. Sorry. I like to ramble sometimes.
That was good. From gamers to creators.
NFTs, or-system.com.
That's right. Or-system.com, or-system.com.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you wanna learn more about NFTs and everything, well, the first thing to do is to download the SDK at the end.
There you go.
That's a good place to start.
Keep an eye on the site. We've got the launch. If you really want to learn how to do it and you want to go through it, we plan to put out training videos. Right? We want the community to have access to this stuff. It's not locking the gamers' money into the game anymore, right? I mean, you go on and you buy Call of Duty points for $50, and it's locked in there into Call of Duty no matter what. You can't get that out. It's only worth it in Call of Duty, and it's only worth in one Call of Duty game. In this case, you can take OR token from, if it has the SDK integration from one title to another, and they can be completely different games. You could have an RPG, MMORPG game that's using OR as the in-game gold, right? Because you can call it anything that you want, but the whole infrastructure and all of the underlying technology, it's all handled for the developer. The development team doesn't have to stand up servers. They don't have to understand how to interact with a smart contract or any of that, because that's all taken care of in there. So our goal is to help every single one of the developers out there, the little guy that's on Steam, that indie developer that's pushing out content and just trying to figure out another revenue stream, to get to do that next game. This gives them that opportunity, and the other part is like they can have core fans, right? That just always jump on, they're buying that game content. So now that developer, right, puts out a couple of different kinds of games and they have that same item in there. So maybe it's a jacket, and the one game is kind of like that pixelated Minecraft version. One is a AAA, graphics title, and the other one is a top-down 2D platformer. And your character has the same jacket on in every single one of those games. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's really cool. It's like a plug-and-play network anyone can join into, right?
Exactly. So even the SDK, right? We're putting it out free. There's the free community version that we're putting out on the asset store. So it doesn't cost anybody to get integrated with the SDK or the OR system itself. I mean, as developers, and as people want to try it, we offer the testnet faucet so that you can actually get some testnet OR tokens to try this stuff out and all the rest. I mean, the goal really is to simplify the mystery of how to get this technology into the game.
Mm-hmm. So who are you guys trying to market to? What's your target demographic? What type of game would want to use OR system in the OR Forge?
I mean, that's soup du jour. Pick one. First-person shooter, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. I'm a earlier generation gamer, so I like to stick with the classics. The concept works across the continuum. I would assume it has even more applications in places like World of Warcraft and that kind of thing, but I never really dug into those, so I can't speak to that.
I'd say the goal is to reach, it's kind of a blue collar system with a white collar edge. We want to be able to help the little guy to be as big as the big guy, and everything in between. That's our market. Our market is everybody who wants to be in the games, who wants to create NFTs, who wants to create value for their own brand. If you're a musician, we're in it for everybody, man. And it's it's kind of for the people company. That's the way I.
If you look at just gamers, 3.29 billion gamers in the world. Okay, that's only looking at gamers, not people that are just buying NFTs.
So, that's impressive. But so you asked about what types of games. So, first-person shooters. Let's just take first-person shooters and Osiris Protocol. Okay, so in-house we're developing a AAA quality video game. It's the one that Nick referenced earlier. Okay, it's his baby. Okay, the one that kind of spawned all of this, right? So it has the OR system has a wide application to multiplayer online games, right? And so whether it's first-person shooter like Osiris Protocol, or like Lucas had mentioned, World of Warcraft or Minecraft, whatever the case may be, the widest reach is multiplayer online, right? Because that's where the need is. So once Osiris Protocol is out, then it will serve as a proof of concept, right? That this works and this is how we did it. Would you like to do the same thing? So I mean, here it is.
All right. So Eric, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, bringing up Osiris Protocol, the strange but funny story on how I got started with Nick that in turn got Jimmy involved, because like Jimmy had mentioned earlier, we play in a couple bands together. This all started when I reached out to Nick about doing a voiceover for one character. And what's funny about that is that's all I wanted to do. Write a little music for for Nick and the game he was working on. It looked really cool. And Nick and I started talking, and it's funny how half of what he was talking about I didn't grasp, because like you've heard some of the guys say, I knew what an NFT was vaguely, but it started to progress. And Nick, if you remember this, after our first conversation, I'm like, man, hold on, I got to get more involved. And then I had to tell Jimmy about it. Once Jimmy saw the magnitude of it, and then once I met the team, it was end of story. I mean, but it all started with me just calling him about one voiceover. So and then just to see where it's come from, that one conversation, getting me super excited about it all the way to now, just up until today. It's been quite a ride, man, and I'm learning a whole ton. It's overwhelming, and these guys can tell you that some of these guys have heard me say this multiple times. I've never had more fun being a little nervous about something so grandiose and big, but it's super exciting, man. And I think Sean said it best. It's a blue collar company looking out for the little guy with that white collar big corporation power,
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
Awesome.
Excited, man. I'm excited as well.
That's the best part about
make video games.
Yeah, this is the best part about the team. We just talk about like your strengths and weaknesses and who can help pull each other up when we need to get smarter in different areas. I didn't know much about anything and leaned on Nick early. Now I'm having the opportunity through self-study and talking to Nick. I can help adjust people's understandings of these relatively new concepts, NFTs, blockchain. Some of these people that we're introducing this to, their parents, they're going to wonder how their kids are going to interact with these same systems. So you do have to educate them too. And we're all brand ambassadors. We want to put our company in the best light we can, and the only way to do that is to make everybody on the team as competent and aware of where we are and what we're doing at all times. So we're constantly trying to live up to Nick's expectations of the rest of the team, but we're excited to do it,
Yeah.
and we'll humbly offer, some sincere apologies when we goof things up, but we're out to do the right thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well said, man.
So Nick, I know before this, me and you talked about some of the maps you're working on. Is it okay
Sure.
if I leak a few of them?
Yeah, go for it, man. This is the big, the big sneak preview and all the rest.
This is what everybody actually came to listen to.
Yeah, this is what everybody cares about.
All right, awesome. So that's so compared to Ethereum gas fees, how much would the fees be for you on your network?
So, do you want to wait until they're back on screen, or you're gonna edit it, or I don't? It's up to you, man.
I'll edit it. It's okay.
Okay. So really, when you look at our competitors or our predecessors, actually, the ones that came before and then are old and clunky and all the rest. There's only one real option out there other than the OR system when you're talking about doing game development around blockchain. And the fees associated with integrating that, the cost of usage on the Ethereum network right now, is just cost prohibitive to the majority of users, right? If you have to pay $5 to $50 just in gas fees to buy that NFT, how many kids or how many gamers are going to actually pay that extra fee just to get that item, right? So when we look at the cost effectiveness, the speed, all of those aspects, right, we're able to reduce the fees that the end user is going to pay by 100% at most cost, or most times, if not more, compared to the Ethereum network. So now a gamer can go on and they can buy that chicken or that flower or whatever that NFT is, right? Because now that it's cheap and now that it's scalable, the developer can put anything that they want as an NFT. They can actually be materials. So you could have iron ore, you could have wood, you can have all of those kind of core materials that MMORPGs and things use, produced as NFTs. So now all of a sudden your game also creates value in itself. You're going to have users that are going to continue to go on there and play to earn real coin. You're going to see users that are creating content and just become content creators on the Forge. And then the separate part of that is when those content creators put their information or put their content out there on the Forge, right? It gives the opportunity of the developers that want to have that content in their game, so they can go on and buy that license, right? And now they can use the OR SDK and have that item as part of the integrated developer wallet, right? The developer wallet can hold that NFT just like a user wallet. So now the game developer can buy the license from the content creator, whether that's music, whether that's skins, whether that's 3D models, whatever it is. Or the developer can say, okay, if we have, AAA vendors, if we get some trademark vendors, something like, I always use the example of Taco Bell, right? If you had a Taco Bell or nacho fry samurai sword, and you were able to have that and take that from one game to another, the developer could buy that, or the end user, the gamer, could buy that license. And as long as one of those two own that license, that content can be in the game. So the developer can say that they have Taco Bell as supported in the game. They can say that they have all of the other content creators supported in the game. And the only time that it'll actually be presented to the end user is if they own the license, right? Mm-hmm. So now you give developers the ability to have access to trademark and licensed products that they would never have access to before, because indie developers don't get those types of organizations to give them those trademark or license rights. And you have the ability for the gamer to take that content from one game to another.
That's really what it boils down to. I mean, me as a gamer, okay, my perspective, right? There's so much content that I would love to purchase to collect, right? Because that's part of it for me, right? Part of completing a game, part of being immersed in a game is to collect and complete it, right? Well, a lot of times I will stop short of spending money on somebody's game or on some artist's content strictly because I know that outside of this environment, I don't own it, right? And so this changes that. This frees up my wallet, okay? And I like to spend money, me, and I'm not any different from any other gamer. So.
And I don't like to spend money. So when my son comes to me and says, "Hey, Dad, I need another $25 to buy a skin," I'm like, "What's a skin?" No, but honestly, when he comes to me and he's like, I say, "Why do you want to spend money on this? Why? It's worthless. I mean, you don't own it, you can't touch it, you can't take it anywhere." He's like, "But it's cool." Okay, it's
You
cool.
told me.
I look cool in the game. My dude looks cool. He's slaying people. Whatever it is in a first-person shooter. And so, to me, from old crusty dude standpoint, I'm like, you mean to tell me, kid, if you get that stuff in the game, you own it now? Okay, that's different. Here's 50 instead of 25.